had been away.
Oh, he's pretty. That's where I know it from. No, wait. So today we are going to check out an Irish band called Thin Lizzy. I have heard of Thin Lizzy, of course. I grew up in Dublin, Ireland. I used to go for pints in Bruxelles, and there is a statue of the lead singer outside of it, and his name is Phil Lynotts. And you know what? I even met Phil Lynotts' family members at one point. At a certain point in your life, it becomes embarrassing to say, I've never listened to Thin Lizzy before. And then you just go, well, I've come this many years without listening to them. I might as well go on. And then you just realize that you've just never heard the band. I can't say exactly why. I just never listened to them. You know, sometimes there are just things that become like that name of that band or that singer. Thin Lizzy, Phil Lynott, know the names, never bothered to listen to them. I do get a lot of kickback in comments from people being like, do you live under a rock? What an original comment. No, I just had different life experiences. I just wasn't into this stuff. I liked me cheesy pop, okay? I just never got into the cool music. We're making amends online. Anyway, I've begun doing these music reactions because you guys like to watch them. A portion of today's video is brought to you by Aura. Your data is now your most valuable asset, and these days it's possible anyone can find out anything about you on the internet if you don't protect your information. Your details are accessible because of data brokers who profit by selling that information to robocallers, telemarketers, spammers, and anyone else who wants to learn more about you. Aura will identify data brokers that are exposing your information and submit opt-out requests on your behalf. They will even opt you out of junk mail and telemarketing lists that are so tedious to wade through. Aura also monitors your emails and passwords to see if they were involved in data breaches or even see if your information has been exposed on the dark web. Aura's app also features a VPN, password manager, real-time credit and identity theft monitoring, internet parental controls, and protects your devices from malware. Aura has almost every internet safety tool you will need in one app. So let Aura do the hard work of keeping you safe online. You can use my link, aura.com/Diane Jennings, or you can scan the QR code to try it out for 2 weeks and start your free trial. Thank you so much to Aura for supporting this channel. So many people requested me to react to Thin Lizzy. I do hear you, so comment. It's called The Boys Are Back in Town. I have heard that bit of the chorus. This is usually how the popular songs go. Like I've heard, the boys are back in town, and that's the bit I've heard. And I think I heard that from like my brother singing it with his friends when they were being like meatheads. But let's hear the actual song.
Guess who just got back today? Them wild-eyed boys that had been away.
Oh, he's pretty.
Haven't changed, had much to say, but man, I still think them cats are crazy. They were asking if you were around, how you was, where you could be found. Told them you were living downtown, driving all the old men crazy. The boys are back in town, boys are back in town. I said,
I like the huskiness of his voice. This is a fun song. I'm not a boy, but I like it.
spread the word around. Guess who's back in town?
Oh, hello.
Friday night they'll be dressed to kill down at Dino's Bar and Grill.
Dino's?
The drink will flow and blood will spill. And if the boys wanna fight, you better let them. That jukebox in the corner blasting out my favorite song. The nights are getting warmer, it won't be long. Won't be long till summer comes. Now that the boys are here again. The boys are back in town, boys are back in town.
Oh!
The boys are back in town. 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 Boys are back. Boys are back.
I like this bit.
The boys are back in town.
Oh! I like that. I'm not a boy, but I liked it. I like that. It was like fun for the sake of fun, you know what I mean? Like fun song. Also, I've only really seen the statue of Phil Lynott before, and in my head, I didn't think it was cute. Sorry, I'm so shallow. But he was cute, right? Was that a thing? Was Phil Lynott like desirable among young ladies? If you were a young lady from back in the day, let me know below in comments. Did you fancy Phil Lynott? Also, feel like as well as being a song that sports teams could play, for sure. Like I can totally imagine American football teams like playing that as they're going on the pitch. I can't imagine how much it would be to buy the rights to that song. But question, was it also a gay anthem? Because I feel like it could be. The Boys Are Back in Town was patterned after the brass riff on Bruce Springsteen's song Kitty's Back. Is The Boys Are Back in Town in Toy Story? That's where I know it from! No, wait. It is featured in the trailer for the Toy Story series. Okay, let's find out some more about Thin Lizzy. Thin Lizzy was founded one night in December 1969 in Dublin, Ireland. That's where I'm from. When Belfast guitarist Eric Bell met up with organist Eric Rickson in a pub and found they shared an ambition to form a group. Sure, what young lad doesn't? Both musicians had previously played with them, fronted by Van Morrison. Well, they aren't just lads then, they're like already quite famous musicians, right? What happened to the original members of Thin Lizzy? The band broke up in September 1983, at which point the lineup included Lynott and Downey, guitarist Scott Gorham, and John Skies and keyboardist Dan Wharton. Are those different people from earlier? In 96, 10 years after Lynott's death, did he die very young? The group reformed as a touring outfit with new bassist Marco Mendoza and Skies taking over lead vocals. How did he die? He died of pneumonia and heart failure due to septicemia. Oh my gosh, I've had family members who've had that. In 1986 at the age of just 36. Whoa. That is so sad. After being in a coma for 8 days following a drug overdose. Well, that's an important note at the end there. Lynott's last few years have been dogged by drink and drug dependency, leading to his collapse at home on Christmas Day in 1985. Oh, his poor family. That is so tragic. So many creative people are just plagued by addiction issues. It says here the band are a one-hit wonder on one website called Stairway to 11. Is that true? I feel like that's not true. Didn't they have more hits? I feel like they did. You know what was interesting in the song? There were bits where it felt like the words were like crammed into the sentence, but it did work. Like the jukebox, like it felt like it was crammed in, but that worked, which is like an unusual melody rhythm pattern. Lead vocalist and bass guitarist met while in school. Oh, this is funny. Actually, I remember hearing this before. When asked what it was like to be a Black Irish person, Phil Lynott said that it was like being a pint of Guinness. That's funny. I wonder why they were called Thin Lizzy. Let's find out. The band took their name after Thin Lizzy, a robot character in a Scottish cartoon strip, The Dandy. I read The Dandy when I was younger. We used to go to flea markets and they would have like boxes and boxes of old comics, The Dandy and Beano. And anyway, I used to read those comics over and over and over. I don't remember Thin Lizzy. There were a couple of cartoons that I would always skip though. The boy ones, the really boy ones. I kind of always thought Thin Lizzy came from some kind of joke about the British Queen because they were an Irish band. I always thought that's where it came from because her name was Elizabeth. Well, I was way off. Oh, Phil Lynott was actually born in West Bromwich near Birmingham in England. His mother was a white Irish Catholic and his father was a black Brazilian whom Phil hardly ever saw. Oh, that's sad. Gorham says that the band broke up after a festival, which was their final show in Nuremberg in 1983. He says, I just wanted to get off the stage. Both Phil and I were hurting from addiction. I didn't feel well. I didn't look good. Nothing was right. Everyone that was playing that show was on the side of our stage. After the 1972 huge hit of their rendition of Whiskey in the Jar. Whiskey in the, like the old-fashioned Whiskey in the Jar that people sing in lock-ins in Dublin, all over Ireland. Did they sing that? Did they originate that song? Do we need to check that song out in the channel? The band wasn't able to follow it with another banger. They were in debt and their label Phonogram was ready to drop them. Phil Lynott then wrote Boys Are Back in Town and released it as their first single on their 1976 Jailbreak album. Gave them the hit they needed and established them in America. After the success of their song, the next few albums were solid sellers. Jimi Hendrix was Phil Lynotts' hero, a black musician who was a huge inspiration to Phil, who was half black himself. At the time of his death, oh my gosh, did you guys know this? It was rumored Lynott was in line to potentially portray Hendrix in a planned biopic. He even wrote a song for Jimi Hendrix. Wow, song for Jimmy. I mean, it was a good title for a song. Phil's mother, Philomena Lynott, worked hard and sacrificed a lot to raise Phil in the way that he wanted to. She kept a secret for more than 50 years. Phil had 2 additional siblings who had been given up for adoption. Philomena Lynott, is that who I met? I think I met her at a gig in Bruxelles or at a play. I remember everybody was like, wow, do you know who that is? And everyone was like, I can't remember if they said mom or auntie or something. But yeah, I remember her being very nice. Lynott had his solo competition, Yellow Pearl, chosen as a new theme song for Top of the Pops. I've probably heard that because I know all the Top of the Pops theme tunes. If you don't know what Top of the Pops is, it used to be a British chart show for British charts. Here's a good question. Who exactly were the boys anyway? It has been much debated since the song's release. Possible inspirations have allegedly been the Manchester football, soldiers in the Vietnam War, and even the band's own fans. But the song is actually believed to be a referential tribute to a ragamuffin bunch of criminals based in Manchester called the Quality Street Gang. Oh, I love Quality Street sweets. They are so good. But the box has gotten hella smaller since back in the day. Well, maybe the box hasn't got smaller, but they put less chocolate in. Also, if you are in the USA and you can get your hands on Quality Street, they did used to be nicer, but then they started making the chocolate in a different country and that just ruined it. Quality over quantity, you know, but they probably sell more now. Members of the gang frequented the bar which Phil Lynotts' mother ran, and Phil immortalized one of them in another Lizzy song, Johnny the Fox Meets Jimmy the Weed. When the song became popular, he gave Jimmy the Weed his own gold record. His mother recalled that Philip liked them and thought that the gang were characters. Ooh, interesting. I sort of feel like me learning about Thin Lizzy is a bit of a rite of passage for me as an Irish person. I am glad to say I know a little bit more about them. That's something I've been enjoying about this musical journey, is that like all the times people reference things and I'm like, I don't know who that is, but I'm like, I feel like it's out in the open now. My big secret is out in the open. I'm just not good at music stuff, but I'm learning so much more. Thanks for being on this journey with me. Let me know below in comments who else you'd like to see. In the meantime, do check out this song over here where I listen to The Doors. Maybe it's over here. It'll be somewhere.